Hey, it's Matt with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Wednesday. It's November 15th. This will be our chart lesson today, and I'm going to move through this one pretty quick today. I got somewhere I have to be, so I'm leaving out of here, but I did want to get this done. But I'm going to move through it rather quickly, so I won't spend as much time probably discussing some of these trades as I usually would. First of all, there was two legs down, and then we traded up for probably the majority of the morning, and then it just didn't much happen this afternoon. Between maybe 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, we had a little bit of a downtrend and then a little bit of a bounce, but we were still working down overall. Um, but there are two legs down here. If you were, this would have been our move for our target for a measured move. And when we didn't get that, that generally tells you something. Once we started trending the other way and didn't get down here, that tells you we may get a pretty good, a, a fairly decent move in the opposite direction. I really thought we'd go back and fill the gap because once again, we closed up here yesterday and we opened down here. So there is a gap between there and there on the daily chart, and we didn't quite get that filled again today. So there's two days in a row there's going to be a gap on the daily chart. But anyway, when we didn't make this measured move here and this starts trending the other direction, you want to expect a pretty good move. I really thought we'd do more than that, but once again, at this, around this 25, today it was around 25.72 area. There's a good bit of resistance here. Yesterday, I'm trying to remember what it was yesterday. Yesterday it was 78, so it was about 5 points lower today than it was yesterday, where we were getting all that resistance. But we did end up closing down today as well from yesterday. But really, we're just going sideways here. You can see that the highs are up here around 22, or I'm sorry, 25.71, 25.72, and the lows were around 25.55 or so. But we pretty much traded sideways today, although there was a pretty good move down and a decent move back up. And that's all we want is movement, so that's the key. But let me back out a little bit here, go through these trades real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up. Going to move that arrow out of the way. But we had what I call a spiking channel. We spiked down, went into this channel, and we were working down, and we had a break here. And so we were working on a retest of that low, but really we got another trend kind of working lower here. We had a close outside here and a couple legs down, and we reversed from that. So it wasn't really that clear if we had a reversal or a solid close outside because we're still working down. So once we were working up here and got a break and a couple legs up to a new high and a little small bar, I like taking a short. I really thought we'd go down and test that low again. Didn't happen, but it didn't matter. This still works. And then we're just working sideways. So let me come back here and talk about these couple of trades. But that's your first break here. Um, there's actually a decent setup here with a lower high, but that's a fairly strong trend up, and there are two legs up. But I thought we'd probably get a retest, especially when that bullish bar right there. So um, I was a little hesitant to go short right there, especially when it's just right at the EMA. We did close under it, so you could probably argue for that to be green. I'll make it green, but I think you're better off to wait and see if you don't get a better. You got to let these corrections play out. And this is what'll burn more people, so that's the reason I'm not crazy about that one. But you get your failed second entry long right here, and it actually goes higher and turns. It goes out the other side. That's where you want to get short. And notice how we're all under the EMA now. And it actually comes back one more time and gives you another one. This is the first break, and you figure with that big move down, we're going to test that low, and we may get another leg down. So that one's probably worth risking. It's not a great setup, but it's not a bad setup. Um, and it does take off. And you get another one here, but you got to go short at the very low of the day to enter that one. You don't want to do that. Um, So now you got to close outside. You got to close outside this spiking channel and a new low, and you got to close outside of this one and a new low. I didn't feel like this one was far enough away from the EMA to risk, but you probably could argue that's a higher low. You could probably argue for that one to be green, but again, you got to be careful picking these lows, and so I'm not crazy about it, but I'll give it a green. And we got two legs up here now. We got a little trend working up. We got a close outside, two legs to a new high, a little small 3-tick bar. I like that one just to try to get a scalp, and maybe we take off and, because the measured move was another couple of points down here, but it just finds support here and starts going sideways. And you just don't want to do anything right in here. I think it's too risky, and then suddenly you get a breakout pullback long here. And this is a good reason why you want to wait on a lower high on when you break out of these little ranges, because this one would have trapped you. And when it broke low, turned lower, and then went back out the other side, I like that one just because you figure people have got to be trapped there, and it's probably going higher. And off it goes. And if you catch this one, you ride this whole thing all the way up. But we do come back here once, twice, and there's a little double bottom and a little failed break lower. We're not quite back to the EMA, but notice this shorter term trend working up, and it looks like you're probably going to trap people, and so we're probably going to make another leg up there. And so I like that one just because there's a little bit of a trap there. It's not a great trap. You're probably not going to fool a lot of people, but I'm guessing that you're going to have to guess that a bunch of people probably loaded up short right there thinking that they'd trapped longs, and in the end they just get trapped. And so I think that one was worth a risk if you want to be aggressive. But it does make a new low, and so you get a failed second entry short right here, chance to go long, and again you get a little bit, you drop just a little bit lower than those previous lows. Nice reversal bar. I like right off the EMA. I like going long there, and because that's a failed second entry short, and you're making higher highs and higher. You're making higher highs, so you do make a lower low there, but that's one of those that traps people. And you can see how it takes off there real quick and fast and moves real briskly up to a new high. That's telling you got people trapped there for sure. Notice this one didn't move so fast and far. Probably didn't trap a lot of people. This one did, so we probably trapped quite a few trying to get short there. And maybe everybody that was already short realizes now you got to exit too. So, and then the last of your shorts are probably throwing in the towel here and giving up, thinking I'm going to give all my money back. So that's another reason you get these big moves. But look where they all generate from, always right off the key entry points. Here, here, here. But again, you're working down. You get a little bit of a move. It's not a strong close outside. Moves down, but it bounces off that trend line, and that's basically a second entry long after probably trapping people again. Off it goes. And then you get one more bounce off the EMA there, or I'm sorry, not off the EMA, off the trend line. It is a second entry, fairly nice bar. There's a lot of sideways action and not a lot of room to the top there or even the next high. So I'm not crazy about that one. It would have worked. If you want to be aggressive, you can take that one. And notice we came up just a hair short on the upper side, and we got outside of it just a hair as well. So it's tempting to want to go short right there, but you can't be trying to pick tops. And we already talked about this one. There's a little bit of a trap there, but again, there's too big a chance you get trapped to the short side and it goes back to make a new high. I was really surprised we didn't go back and make a new high here because you got a fairly nice trend working up. And you don't get an overshoot or anything. You just get a two-leg correction. And at that point, you think, well, hey, we may go higher, but it's more sideways action. We did overshoot it here, so you expect it to overshoot there. This would have been a great short if you'd had something besides a doji. I'm not going to enter below that doji. But guess what? It comes back and it gives you a little trap here and then a chance to get short. And really what you do is you get a break here, 2 legs down, 2 measured legs down to a new low, and then it bounces again. And I didn't see anything long here I like, but I did like this short here. Um, Notice how it tried to go higher again there, makes a little double top, turns, it goes down. I like going short just below that bar right there. Now your stop would have to go above, well, you end up with your high equal there, so your stop has to go up there. But even if it had to bounce higher there and broke lower, I kind of like that one with your stop up here because it is a second entry short. And you are looking for a possible another leg down. And it's going to be a little bit of a trap there because it looks like a second entry. Notice that I first entry, pullback, second entry. After making one tick lower, it looks like a second entry long. And there was somewhere in here somebody got trapped to the long side. I think this is it. I think they went long right here. And they were basically asking me, you know, why I thought that failed. Well, what you got to be careful of, whenever we're reversing, you got to make sure, like here we're trending down, and you got to make sure this completely plays out. So by trying to go long here, you're just guessing. You're guessing because there's nothing here really yet that says, hey, this market's reversing other than a break and a new low, and we only got a low by one tick. And a lot of times you get 2 legs. And so you would just be guessing right there. Notice there's your first leg. Then there's your second leg. It's basically a perfect measured move. It actually looks like we went one tick lower. So you can't be guessing here. Either wait on a reversal pattern or wait until you got a confirmed trend line in the other direction. Otherwise, just sit tight. It's not worth it. You're better off, just like right in here, you're better off to sit tight. Right in here, you're better off to sit tight. Right in here, you're better off to sit tight. Wait till you've got a confirmed trend line. Right here, you've got a confirmed trend line working higher. You don't really get a good setup. Actually, you get a little bit of a reversal here, and if you'd went long there, it would have worked. It's after after 2 o'clock, but it still would have worked. So make sure you get a reversal pattern at a very minimum, and generally you want to trend in the other direction. And we just, if you go long right here, you don't have that yet. And you may get that second leg down. If you do, you're going to get yourself trapped. So anyway, I hate to wrap it up so quick, but really we just went side. We had a big sell-off and we corrected some, but really we're just going sideways here. So, but what I do like about the last few days is we had a nice trend down and then a nice trend up. So you're actually getting some movement. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Hope you had a good trading day. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow and wrap up our week. But I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.